can rest for a little bit, but we also have this other castle under siege, so this is probably going to end up being back-to-back battles here. And with that said, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related, but especially battlefield tactics and advanced field command. And we have a castle under siege here. We just had a nasty battle against the Sturgians. We've got our main forces injured here, and we can sort of continue to look for forces to fight with here with our 300. This is a side branch of our late game campaign. We're going to try to get down there, and that's too big a force to fight right now. We're banged up, traveling to Ustakal Castle to besiege. Holy fuck, this is a gigantic force of Western Empire, and they are trying to siege this castle deep in our territory. And you're wondering, what the fuck's the Western Empire doing here? Well, our campaign is war against all 8 kingdoms, and we're down to 2 or 3 castles and 2 or 3 cities. You can see our army is pretty stacked here, but we've got quite a few injuries. We've got injuries kind of across the spectrum here. Archers are injured. We can do some upgrades here from the last battles. And I'd love to bait these guys to attack Varcheg. Varcheg is very heavily defended right now. I'd love a good siege defense here. Siege defenses are one of the most popular things on the channel, which is fortunate because I love a great siege defense. Unfortunately, the Western Empire army is not interested. Look at the fucking strength of this force too. That is an incredibly powerful army. Nevertheless, we will get down here and see if we can defend Calradia Castle. No, we won't. I'm traveling to Varcheg to besiege. All right. Well, we're beset by enemies here. Unfortunately, that makes for a very good action, right? For you, the viewer, you're not going to be shy of action on Tactical Enlightenment here. We're going to have, it looks like a siege defense. It's interesting. They're coming in hot here, but we have like 1,000 defenders inside Varcheg. It's a very powerful Battanian force, but this doesn't represent a major threat to us here. Nevertheless, I don't want to challenge them with this force I have. It's too banged up to do a 300 series, and I've already done a couple in this mountainous region. I think it would be kind of vanilla. I try not to reproduce content for you fellas here. And honestly, this just may end up being a ho-hum siege. I narrate these live, and of course, a battle of 2,000 Battanians against our 1,200 or whatever it is inside the castle is not gonna be great for not gonna be must-watch TV here. Nevertheless, we soldier on. There's other Battanian forces coming in, including Ed Wayne army. Another very big army here. Now it's getting interesting. 3,500. This is almost 4,000. So all right, here we go. Let's see. Let's build the rest of our counter siege here for them. Whoa. Was that another army? It is. Wow. 1328. This would be a huge siege defense. Well, ask and you shall receive, I guess. So we wanted a big siege here. Look at the fucking Battanians streaming in here. This is a feature of our very late game campaign. I've got a lot of enemies at this stage that fucking hate us. You know, we've been rampaging and killing them and taking over their territory for a long time and at war with a lot of these kingdoms for literally 20 game years. All right, we're going to recruit every single prisoner here. This looks like a fucking epic siege. I mean, there must be 5,000 already here, and there's more coming. There's 52. It's going to be over 6,000. Well, this would be the biggest siege defense I've ever taken on. Ah, nice. Well, they're still coming. There's more coming. This is amazing. I mean, this is awesome. It looks like every single lord in the entire realm of Battania is attacking us. Recruit every single prisoner here because we have a potentially epic siege about to happen. 7,400. 7,400. It's going to be more than 70, almost 8,000. Holy fuck. 8,000 fucking Battanians. And there's more coming. Okay, they've begun their assault here. Motherfucker. Well, we're wielding our fast axe. Let's see, I need to change out my javelins here. I like to run with 3 stacks of javelins in a long siege like this, as much killing power as possible. In a siege like this, I usually figure I need to kill 300 or 400 for us to be successful. I'm very tempted to run with reduced player damage, but I can hear the purists out there saying, don't do it, man. Don't do it. And I do have the RTS mod loaded, so I think we are going to soldier in as a purist here on the hardest difficulty against 8,000 fucking troops. Unbelievable. All right, fellas, strap yourself in. Hopefully we can make a good siege of this before. We've had some disastrous sieges here at Varcheg. I've lost a couple of critical sieges here. The benefit of that is that I've learned from my mistakes. Look at this unique keep layout. It's highly unique, and it's a challenge, but it can also be wonderfully blissful to defend as well. I like to overlook everything before I start to come up with the strategy. They got a siege tower on our right flank. They got ladders down here. Okay. And a great big courtyard here. I gotta order some of my infantry here. I gotta figure out who I want where here. In the past, I've overly defended the right flank. I don't think we'll make that mistake this time. So for those wondering, I should explain this while I just sit here coming up with my strategy. I like to run 8 divisions for Keep Siege now because with some micromanagement, and I've become pretty adept at controlling all 8 divisions, you can do some pretty dynamic things with tactical options in Keep Sieges. If you know what you're doing, if you have experience, and of course my experience is failed sieges, right? So we're going to learn from our mistakes here. I'm going to defend this right portion of the keep, but with a relatively static force. Because of the size of the keep, you can't really run back and forth and sort of help them and micromanage them. So I'm going to set up a static defense force over here of 2 archer divisions, the 5th and the 7th. And then I'm going to put an infantry division, probably the 1st. I need to be lots of shields and spears, good. I'm going to put them right at this junction where it sort of comes over the wall here. And what I'm hoping is that'll intercept a lot of the troops that potentially come from that direction of the keep. The archers down here in this little groove will shoot them full of arrows, and then I can focus on this main courtyard. This is where the action is going to happen. So the 2nd Infantry looks like a good division to be our gate division. I always like to have a gate division. This is the division you're going to be having that charges the gate to plug it up if and when the enemy starts to pour in. You want to have it to be sizable. It has to be at least 40 or 50 men. I've found that anything less than about 40, and they just can't, they don't eat enough burgers, I guess. They can't fucking jam the gate up. So we're going to have about 45 guys here in the 2nd. They can be either in a line formation or a square. And then I have these supplementary divisions back here that I'm going to use both as ranged attack. You can see there's Battanian Fianchamps kind of sprinkled throughout. We're going to use these guys as enfilade fire, right? We're going to be flanking the enemy with arrows here. They have, some of these units have javelins. Some of these are elite companions of mine. Where's the 6th? Here's the 6th. So the 4th and the 6th will be on our left side. And now look at this. All these guys, it looks like all of them are javelin throwers. I see Battanian, or I see wildlings in there, and I see Assyri Vanguard Ferris. Go! It looks like it's sunset. We do have the time pass mod. This will be interesting because the time pass mod allows time to naturally pass during the battle. It looks like it's right at the edge of sunset, and it might be morning by the time this siege is over. All right, now let's see what we got for siege. I think we have 2, whatever you want to call these, flaming, exploding catapults here. And I want to try to get in here and get some shots off on... Holy fuck, that's all Battanian Fiends. Look at that block down there. I guess we're not going to be able to man this fucking catapult. I'm getting shot to pieces. How come I can't see my health? Oh, I beg your pardon. I've got to adjust a couple settings here. Otherwise, you won't be able to see my health and shit like that. I apologize. It is a beautiful sunset. So this catapult, I think, is worthless. I think these Battanian Fiends here, this fucking army, it's all Battanian Fiends. Look at that. It's like 180 or something like that Battanian Fiends down there in a big football fucking arc. They're not going to allow us to use this cat. Those guys are just going to be able to kill. Look at, they just smoked that guy. So unfortunately, this catapult is kind of worthless. Now I will be able to fire these exploding grenades out there with my big forearms, right? I work out. You fellas all should be working out 3 times a week, right? I'm almost 50 and I'm ripped. Well, kind of. And it helps you throw these bombs, right? Actually, in all seriousness, I think it's engineering skill that helps you throw them further, but I don't really know. If someone else knows out there, feel free to chime up in the comments. But you can see this catapult is worthless. That guy's absolutely getting smoked. He's killed already. We're just going to benefit from throwing these. And actually, the sooner I throw these, the less companions and less troops that'll die. Look at this guy, dipshit. He's standing out in the front. He just got, like, impaled on the fucking catapult. I've never seen that before. Alright, we're gonna throw all these bombs as quick as they can because every fucking troop that comes here is instantly killed by these Battanian fiends. So ordinarily I'd really aim these and take my time. I'd like to, shoot them at their tower there and destroy their tower, but obviously we can't, right? We can't. Nobody can even man that thing without getting killed. Like, that guy's dead. I just know he's dead. He got insta-killed. Fortunately, I am within range. I can do a lot of damage here. I probably have 60 or 70 kills already with these bombs. And we're going to need it, right? I've never had a siege this big. I wonder if anybody out there, let me know if you've had a bigger siege than this. I'm in an extremely late game campaign. I have a few mods in the past that have made some of the AIs, what do you want to call them? Their lords, even higher level, right? So they have like 300 leadership, etc. So they have these exceptional sized armies as well. So it's a little bit artificial. I wouldn't expect to see this kind of siege in your own game. Hopefully nobody's watching this saying, I can't wait for my first siege against 8,000. I can't even fucking believe I'm saying that. 8,000. It's like, that's like Helm's Deep, right? You Lord of the Rings fans? I guess this is our Helm's Deep here. 8,000 fucking Battanian orcs under the fucking foul Saruman are trying to attack here. Where's this other catapult? I got rocks there. This is good. They're smashing their way through the door. Here we go. At least they can fire. They're not being killed. Okay, they're pouring up on ladders on our left flank. So this is another golden opportunity just to kill the enemy en masse. This is an unfortunate part of the AI, but they do tend to just completely pack up like fucking fish in a barrel. I don't even need to see where I'm throwing it. I just know it's going to kill guys. They have 100 guys down there, or at least they used to have 100 guys down there, and now they have a whole bunch of dead bodies. The front gate is not quite burst yet, so I got another few throws here, and then we're going to have, that's the third division. Well, the second division, we'll have them charge. Now that the gate's bottled up, now we can start raining some fireballs down here on the guys trying to enter the gate. We got some Dark Knight music. People ask all the time, what's my soundtrack? It's just a different mix of songs that I like, right? We've got some epic fighting songs. They're storming in off that siege tower, but I think that square is going to be able to hold. All right, more enemies are pouring in here. Go ahead there, fellas. Pile yourself up outside the gate because you guys can all die. Now I've got those other stones to throw. But the songs are a mix of different things. If you're interested in an individual tract, I'm happy to tell you, but I'm just not going to enumerate. Like somebody was like, can you list all the tracks for the... That would take me like a half hour, an hour. I apologize, friends. I'm not willing to do that. All right, see, that third is not going to be sufficient to hold. So let's charge with the sixth. Oh, I see what's going on. Half the third division is back here. They're archers, and so they're not charging. One thing you can make them to do to charge here is tell them to hold fire. And we're going to need it. Look at the enemy's already fucking bursting through the gate. Fuck. Yeah, see these guys here? Hold fire and watch them charge with their broadswords. The enemy, for some reason, is pouring towards the fucking left side of the keep here. I'm not sure if they're trying to rally over there, but they're fucking with our forces here. They're fucking with my plan, man, right? To quote Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski. No, we can't do that, man. It fucks with our plan. Of course, the enemy is going to have a massive amount of Tier 5 and Tier 6 units here. We have a very strong army here. I would say 70% of our forces are Tier 4 and Tier 5, and some Tier 6. Of course, we have Battanian Fiend Champs. But the enemy here has just an insane force, right? 8,000 fucking enemies. It's chaos early on here. This is not a good sign. Now, I do have 2 archer corps that are raining in arrows here, and the gate, at least temporarily, is tied up. So what I'm worried about is the enemy looks like they are rallying over there. Right? A lot of times when there's a ladder, guy got smoked. In this situation, what the AI will do is it will rally like 50 or 100 guys in a spot, in a safe spot, in a shield wall, in a square, and then when they're charging through the gate or another location, those guys will simul-charge. The enemy doesn't do a lot of dynamic things very often, but that's something they do in Siege, and it's extremely effective at overrunning your defenses. Again, the enemy's just absolutely pouring in here with tier 5 units. You're going to see me wielding this blazing fast axe a lot in this battle, at least as long as I can stay on my feet. Of course, with normal player damage against this many good troops, it's hard to even last half this kind of a battle. Get smashed over the head a handful of times with the Falcons, and that's it. Yeah, we're having a crisis here at the fucking front gate. We need everybody in here. Charge, everybody charge, hold fire, because if the enemy bursts through this gate, this siege is over. Or at least it's going to be heading in the direction of over. I've had 2 or 3 other episodes on the channel. One of them was defending, now what I mean by episodes is castle defenses that were losses, and one of them was here defending Varcheg. It's a unique castle layout. It's very complex. It's very defendable, right? Like there's a lot of good concepts going on here for the defense. But you got to be careful, right? You've got these essentially 2 different castle sieges happening at the same time. You see what we got going on here. We got a murdering factory, right? We got this division in a square. The enemy's rushing in like madmen. I can help a little bit here, but I've got to get back to the gate. And we have this square set up, so they can't get to our archers very easily. Our archers are smoking everything in sight. And I'm confident, at least for now, that this right flank is going to hold. Look at these fucking stoic guys in their square. That square is both defensive in that case, but it's also a block. It prevents the enemy from getting to our archers easily. Look at all these guys all compacted up here. Time to throw some more rocks. We're working on those forearms, right? Chicks dig forearms. We'll probably hit some of our own guys. I inevitably kill some of my own troops. What do we have? I can't remember. Of course, you can't answer me. What was it, 1,600 troops to start this battle? We're going to need every single one of them. The enemy's bottled up over here, too. These guys are guarding the ladders. That's good. That's shield infantry, but those guys are going to get killed. The Battanian, look at the arrows sticking out of them. The Battanian Fiends are going to kill those guys. I need to get these divisions off the wall. If you're relatively new to Siege, or maybe you figured out a better way to do it, I have not figured out a really good way to hold the walls in Siege. We're facing, I don't know, hundreds of Battanian Fiend champs. Maybe there might be 1,000 Battanian Fiend champs in this battle. There's a huge amount. And you just can't sit on the walls with that kind of archer corps just obliterating your forces. I'm pulling the guys out of this gatehouse. You don't want to have the guys deep in the gatehouse like that. The archers have this flank covered pretty well, but we're going to have to charge again. You see the enemy just fucking pouring through the gate here. These are all tier 5 units. Fuck, it's too late. They're already fucking pouring through like water. Let's send everybody up, hold fire. We've got ourselves a giant scrum here. Fucking stubborn troops blocking everything. Get off my companion, motherfuckers. God, they're fucking tough troops. Alright, got a small square here at the gate. We're going to keep charging with other units because if I can get this clogged again, I feel good about it. Now, I can't just send the guys in the gatehouse. I'm going to have to micromanage a ton in a siege like this, because if I just tell them to charge, your guys will charge out the gate. So you got to have them kind of on a yo-yo string, pulling them back. You're going to see me use squares. Look at this fucking guy. You're going to see me use squares a lot when the enemy's pouring through a gate, because what it does is it blocks most of the gate, and your archers can shoot the edges, right? Anywhere like this, where the enemy's poking up around the edges, I can fly in here with my lightning fast axe and 330 athleticism, and we can basically make really good work on these guys. Now, in this case, I'm charging again. There's just too many fucking enemies. I don't have the luxury yet of just sitting back and letting my archers go to work. Of course, they're all tier 5 and 6 units. It's an absolute onslaught. and this siege just started. If you don't have a cold drink in your hand, you know, if you're not comfortable, you better get comfortable. If you like long sieges, because we're going to be here a long time. Even if we lose, this will be at least a half-hour siege. I've got a couple of plans in case the front gate gets overran here. I'm already eyeballing a contingency plan. In previous keep sieges, we've had this front area overrun, and I'm already envisioning what I'm going to do with that. I guess I don't have to keep it a secret for you fellas. I'm basically going to plan on running back and pulling back to the next ring of this city, right? Just like they did in real castle sieges, we are going to use these concentric walls and the next opening back there. See that wall back there? There's a door back there. We're going to be able to run to that, and I hope we're going to be able to make kind of a final stand on the other side of that door. We'll see. You know what they say about best laid plans. As Mike Tyson would say, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Feeling pretty good right now. Our archers are spread. This left side is beautiful. I wish I could patent this shit. We've got archers smoking everything in sight, and the enemy's totally obsessed, Twitter-pated with our square, and the bodies are piling up here. I mean, there's an absolute murdering fest going on over here. Look at that shit. He's just shot in the neck, and that left, I guess it's our left flank. No, it's our right flank. It depends on how you view it. Oh, we got more archers here. Reinforcement archers. I'm going to steal from these guys then. Let's spread the 7th out. They can have the 7th, but I want these 5th with us. Another good reason to sort of check on the other area there. I can see how their numbers are doing, right? The AI doesn't do a very good job of putting your reinforcements exactly where you want. It can't read your mind yet, right? It's not Chat GPT 4.2. And so we're going to steal this 5th Archer Division and add it to the courtyard defense. I know I've already said it, but in the past, when I've lost a keep siege here, we lost the courtyard, and that was it, right? It's such a big courtyard. Once there's 5,000 enemies piled up in the courtyard, it's curtains. I hear more fighting going on. I'm going to keep lobbing rocks down here on these guys fucking at the ladders. Fuck these guys and their ladders. In fact, I'd love to throw it off and make them come through the fucking murderous front gate. Anytime you can close access to the enemy to different keeps, different spots, it's beneficial. The question is how many of those archers are going to draw? Yeah, too many. That's the answer. Fuck. There goes a third of my health. Well, again, it shows how difficult it is to defend the walls of a city and castle. The longer I've done castle siege, and I've probably had about 20 epic castle siege defenses on the channel, I've probably had another 30 or 40 that I didn't record. I didn't upload, right? I recorded them, but, if we just crush an enemy in a castle siege, I pretty rarely show that on the channel. We're going to try to show interesting battles, not just when we absolutely annihilate the enemy. Of course, in this battle, we're probably going to lose, right? 8,000 enemies. I don't think you can. I don't know. I guess I don't want to say you can't win this battle, but Jesus fucking Christ, 8,000 fucking enemies. Yeah, the swearing's a vestige of a career in the military and the fire service. If it bothers you, I guess just pretend like you're watching, I don't know, the Howard Stern show or something like that, mixed with some Bannerlord. We're cutting guys. Fuck! I just got smashed. We're cutting guys' heads off here and shit. We're fighting to our death. If you can't handle a few fucking F-bombs, I would just say you'd be well served to try to thicken your skin a little bit. I'm not going to be attacking anybody. We'll be classy with our swearing, but lighten up a little, folks. Don't take life too seriously. All right, I've got a beautiful javelin angle here. My archers, this is what I was talking about earlier. You can set up an absolute death trap for the enemy as long as they don't have too big of a gap. It's a very touchy dance. If there's too much space here for the enemy to pour through, they will simply overwhelm the courtyard and your square strategy fails. That said, look at how effective this is, right? These guys are in an absolute shooting squad. Now, they should be charging the archers. They're not. We'll take advantage of this AI mistake, and we will come in here and chop some wood. Now, this is just a massacre. Look at that. Unfortunately, there's no friendly fire around. I see the arrows are like passing right through Zavon's body. That's nice. Otherwise, I'd be dead. These guys, look at this dipshit charging. I don't think so, buddy. Get the fuck out of here. I'll defend my archers. These are my fucking bread and butter for a siege defense. Oh shit. Okay, this is a problem. Send the... No, don't... Where are they going? They're going up. I think they're trying to rally again. I can't tell what they're doing. I've had this happen before, and then they charge the gate, so I can't charge. Let's charge them with our infantry here from behind, but I gotta watch the gate. I've seen this happen before, and then the enemy will pour through the gate. It's like a diversionary tactic, and they are. Let's get our square back at the gate. You fucking sneaky enemy tried to fucking pull a fast one on us. The archers are murdering those guys as they move. They're trying to move around in our keep, and there's like 80 archers drawing a bead on them. Yeah, you fucks aren't rallying. This is our fucking city. Oh, there's a shit ton coming. This is what I mentioned before. So you'll have an instance like this occur. They were rallying. They're like rallying inside the gatehouse, which is smart. Fucking asshole, get off. But they can't really come out on us. These archers have a beautiful position on them. The left flank is covered. The front gate looks problematic again, though. And so now they are attacking us from multiple ways, right? They're coming out of both gatehouses. They're coming through the central gatehouse, and the enemy's starting to stack up here on the front gate. I'm starting to run into a situation, too, where I see Battanian Fiends, and I'm not sure if they're our guys or not, right? It's kind of a Battania versus Battania fight here. Our archers are doing incredible work, though. These are actually archers, enemy archers, pushing through. So we're going to butcher as many of these guys as we can. They don't have shields. A lot of them are infatuated with our square. They're being smoked by enfilade fire. And so far, so good, right, fellas? I mean, we're winning this siege, right, I think? I got 2 archer divisions here that are strong. But in my experience, as soon as you say that, all of a sudden you're overrun and the whole siege is lost. So I will try to remain humble here. I will try to keep my composure and not get too excited. Because we're still fighting all tier 5 units. We're not even to their tier 4 units. That means this enemy is a long ways from being defeated. Alright, had an archer division charge there to help bottle up the gate. I've got the 2nd division and an archer corps here. Fuck, we might have to charge everybody here. I think that's the plan. They're starting to burst through here. You just can't allow them to start pushing through like this. Let's send everybody. Everybody holds fire. It's an all fucking attack blitz. They're mauling our infantry here. Fucking bitch. Get off. And let's try to close up this gate again. That's the numero uno paramount thing in a keep siege. Fuck, we're starting to get overrun on the edges. They're coming out of the fucking gatehouse and the side houses. The death screen and the death spam has gone decidedly red. This is looking very bad. Man, and I almost did jinx myself, huh? They got an enemy lord they're protecting. Fucking assholes. Fuck. Okay, so reinforcements just pour it out of the ground like mushrooms. We send those guys in to charge. Let's get an archer division, a couple archer divisions set back here. I'm stealing the 7th from the other side. I've got no choice. This is where all the action is, or at least it seems like it. If there's a battle up there, we're just going to have to deal with that later. I have fucking enemies everywhere here. In fact, I'm close to being surrounded. I have to fucking carve my way through here. That 330 athleticism is serving me well here. And we have a total fucking nightmare situation as a commander. We have a giant fucking... This is exactly... You've heard me talking about it. This is exactly what I've been worried about. This whole fucking battle. Alright, this archer division is coming down. They're going to be able to support pretty soon with enfilade fire, but look at this shit. We're just being overrun, and we have no advantage on these enemies here, right? We have a bunch of units that are tier 5. They have more, and they have, you know, they got the momentum. They're just steamrolling right through our fucking courtyard. They're storming both fucking ladder walls. These guys are from the right side of the siege. Look at this mess. Fuck. You know what? It's time to do it. I was talking about this earlier. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Let's stick a unit in a square. Let's get both archer divisions sent there in a hurry. A sacrificial square here will leave the 2nd Corps right here in the middle of the courtyard and hope that it takes some of the attention of the enemy while we beat feet back to our next concentric ring here. God, look at the death spam. We are being massacred on the retreat. This is inevitable, right? Our guys are running and they're being chased by the enemy. And this might be a very bad decision here. I don't know. If you guys are wondering what the fuck I'm doing, trust me, that I'm crazy like a fox. I think this has a chance to work. It better work, because we just lost like 80 or 100 guys trying to move these troops to this position. Fuck, I just cut myself off from the rest of the troops. Now I'm gonna have to fucking fight my way through the gatehouse. I'm cut off. It's all enemies between me and the rest of the men. I'm just gonna have to cut a fucking path. Get up here. I need my units all up here. I'm fighting fucking Battanian Fiend Champs for my life. Of course, if I go down, I'll be able to use another unit. Here we go. The first infantry's pushing through. Out of my way, fellas. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Get the fuck out of my way. I'm polite until I can't move. Here we go. Alright. So this open area, I think we can use this. Let's get the archers spread out. God, we lost a lot on the retreat. We have 45. I think we had like 120 or 130. But we have this giant square we can position here. And this is a small little opening that the enemy's going to have to squeeze through, where I think we can just line up mass murder here. We've got to do it right. There's some finesse, and the square is not going to last forever. But while it does, these look at the arrows are already whistling in. And of course, I'm going to be daring fucking fate here with my fast axe. Fighting Battanian Fiend Champs face to face. You know, you've got to risk death in a battle like this. I just got to watch my health. Right now, I'm not too worried. I've got almost half. With 200 and whatever, 20 hit points, that means I have at least 100 and something hit points left. Fuck, the enemy's pouring through here now. I thought this square was going to be able to hold it. Motherfuckers. God, the enemy is just relentless here. Push that square to the gate. I don't know if this guy's going to be able to push through all these troops, but I physically told that square, get the fuck off me. I told that square, go to the gate, right? Try to fight your way, push your way to that gate, because if we can close this up, then maybe I'm not going to look like an idiot here with this strategy. Right now it looks very bad. It basically retreated, and now we're in the same pickle that we were in before. The enemy's overwhelming us here. Fuck me. This enemy's like fucking possessed. And that guy took 128 damage. I just looked down and he didn't die. You know what that tells me? That tells me there's high-level lords here as well. So on top of 8,000 troops, we're facing elite lords. Ain't that lovely? We're getting slaughtered. We need reinforcements. I don't know where our reinforcements are going to come from, but we need them right now. We might have lost the siege already. Fucking fighting 3 guys everywhere. Get the fuck off the Jarl. I'm gonna have to just fight like a crazed person in this episode. Get these archers spread out. It looks like we just got reinforcements. I can't fucking tell. It's chaos. If you like chaos, you're probably fucking having a great time right now. Like I said, crack open a beverage. You're in for a doozy here. We've had some epic sieges in the past, but nothing like this. This is insane. I'm just swinging my sword. You know, a good thing for no friendly fire here, because I'm just wailing at everything that moves. Here comes some... These are fucking enemies. It looked like they were allies, reinforcements pouring up from behind us, and they're all fucking enemies. Die, you bastards! What the fuck? We've got a ton of reinforcements here. Kill them! Alright, block that gate up. I've got 100 guys for this square. We've got a good amount of archers here. Come on, tactics, don't fail me now. People watching this are going to be like, horrible tactics, you suck. Terrible commander. It doesn't look good so far, but I'm like, you know, those movies where the guy looks like an idiot at the beginning and then he looks like a genius at the end? That's what I'm hoping this turns out. Alright. Fuck, I can catch my breath here. I can get a shield. Where's the fucking shield? I want a big barn door. I like these big Pavis shields. I got some javelins still. Now we're going to ease these guys back. So I want these archers spread. If you're wondering why it's all lime green, fucking radiation green, that's the RTS mod. Please check the video details for where to download it. It's a great mod. Now I'm just trying to edge this square back enough so that the enemy can creep through. Oh shit, I better get my sword out, or my axe out. I'm up there swinging my fists. Of course, I'm going to be doing a lot of work at the margins here, especially if they charge our archers. That's a no-no. We're not letting them charge our archers. But look at this archery fire, right? These guys are absolutely hammering the guys at the edges of this square. And of course, I can get in here with my blazing fast axe, and I think we can cause the screen to fill with green, right? That's what we want. Alright, let's do this shit. Might be a little bit too open, but for now it's okay. This fucking guy, get off me. Off. Maybe kicking a lot in this episode. I got very stubborn, fucking tough infantry blocking everything. Now, another thing I'm going to do, depending on the need, is I will charge with these archers. I will tell them to hold fire and charge if the enemy starts to sort of leak out of one of these sides here, right? This side, it's starting to look a little tenuous. These archers here that are shooting arrows, I can have them charge, and at least it'll be a warm body, at least until they're killed, clogging the entrance, right? Where at this stage, what we're trying to do is basically channel the enemy into a deadly situation. I'm liking how it's starting to look now. It's definitely better than it looked a few minutes ago, where I looked like a fucking giant dipshit. And now we can get our absolutely blazing fast 100, it's like 100 speed axe. Look at this shit. It's a tornado of death. We can just fucking tear the enemy up. I've got archer support behind me. I'd like to get these guys a little bit more spread, and I'd like to have that other side covered too, in case the enemy starts roaring over the other side of the keep there. The enemy can theoretically come through that other side. I don't expect them to, just because they have this gate. They have a much easier access. And if they do that, ironically, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the other side of the keep. We will simply run to the other side of this door. I say simply, it's easier to say than do it, but we will run to the other side of this door and just defend the other side of this door. Right? We're playing peekaboo here with the enemy. You got to have that kind of contingency plan. I don't know if it's going to work out that way, but that's my plan if the enemy starts pouring up around the edges of the edges of that hill there. My health is starting to get low, so I'm going to be throwing a few more javelins. But whenever they're not paying any attention to me like this, you're going to see me fly in, kill 7, 8, 10 guys, and then get out of there. I've learned to hit and run as an axeman. The more guys you kill, it seems like the more the enemy hones in on you. But if you can kill, maybe 15 or 20 seconds and then get out of there, it works pretty well. All right, what do we fucking got here? Of course, thousands of enemies pouring in. And there's nobody defending this right flank. Fucking assholes. I see one guy. It looks like one of our guys is over there on a ballista. For some reason or other, the enemy's leaving him alone. Gate looks like it's going badly again, so back we go. This is going to be our Alamo, at least until some other situation dictates otherwise. We're going to defend this to the last. We've already retreated. I don't think there's any other good defensible areas. And I feel like this can work. I just feel like it can work, fellas. I don't know. Maybe you guys that are doubting it, maybe you guys will be right. I think I got my audio, I don't want to jinx it, but I think I got my audio dialed in pretty well before this battle. So I'm kind of hoping that you guys aren't hearing just a huge amount of clicks, right? As I swing my axe 10,000 times. I'm just kind of hoping that it's coming in, pretty muted. And I hope the music's not too loud, right? So you can enjoy this fucking spectacle of carnage. It's an absolutely chaotic situation. The enemy's pouring in, they're leaking around both sides of the fucking square. I can't even tell who's allied and who's enemy. There's just so many fucking troops here. Now I do run with the little glowing orb over their head. I run with that kind of on a low, I guess, brilliance, low level of brilliant light, because I don't want this giant fucking super bright, stupid orb looking thing above all the heads of the troops. It does make it more cinematic, but it also does make the battle a little bit harder to tell who's friend and foe. Fortunately, they're green and we're orange. Unless you're seriously colorblind, you can't confuse those two. Another fucking spur here. Heads are flying off all over the fucking place. There's bodies stacking up 3 feet deep here as the enemy fucking pours in. All right, so here's another crisis. See how the enemy's leaking through this side here? This is a perfect situation here. The archers in this case have to charge, right? We just have no choice. God, there's just non-stop enemies. Actually, we could pull the archers back here. I might be able to kite with them. I know one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to chop every fucking limb off I see in front of me. God, the death spam just got really bad again. The enemies stick through here. Well, so much for my strategy, right, fellas? I'm an amateur. I don't know why you guys are subscribed. It's obvious that you're watching a fucking scrub. Where's my fucking reinforcements? Fuck! They're wading through our archers. What's happened there at the gate? The fuck is that? You know what that is? I have troops on the other side of that. Let's pull these archers back. I think I got reinforcements in the courtyard, and they're on the other side of the enemy. The problem with that is that they're very quickly, they're going to have fucking troops up their ass, right? They're going to have enemy reinforcements there. In fact, they're already doing it, pouring through the gate. We've got to get these archers in here. Aggressively, we've got to charge with these archers. We have to basically blow a hole for our reinforcements. These Battanian forces here in our way, we need to charge this. We need to get up here and fucking basically break a hole so that our reinforcements can join us here. They're just, Battanians are just fucking pouring at us. Come on, break a hole here. Look at how many fucking guys are in the way here. Fuck you guys. I love to hate my enemy. Of course, it's just a video game, but fuck you. Much better if people just exerted all their fucking aggression in video games instead of like beating their wife and fucking invading Ukraine. Imagine if Putin had fucking Bannerlord. He'd probably be like on his 6th campaign, like rolling through everybody as a total tyrannical despot, executing people, and Ukraine would have peace. At least that's how I think about it. That's how I justify it to my wife, right? Playing 3 hours a day. I'm in there making episodes and she's like, are you making any money yet? And I'm like, no, babe, the channel's not monetized. All right, so we've blown a hole there. Now let's get the archers repositioned here. I got 92 guys in this 7th Corps. Unfortunately, I only have 2 divisions at this stage, right? So there's not a lot tactically we can do. I can't, for example, bottle the entrance up and then bring an archer flank around the rear. That would be amazing if I could. This is a very bad sign. There's a lot of scrubby troops here and militia. Generally, in a keep siege, that means you're getting towards the end of your units. It's not a good sign. Oh, shit. I just got fucking... I think my units just got in my way. I'm, like, totally fucking trapped. I'm gonna have to fall back, get out of my fucking way. The Jarl's fucking in here trapped. At least I've got the fastest axe on the field. I'm gonna need it. I'm literally gonna have to fight my way out of this. I can barely see what I'm doing. That was a mistake. See if I can fight my way out of this, or if this was just a fatal mistake. I might have 500 or 600 kills in this episode. This is just an absolute fucking axe-murdering slaughter. I'm gonna need a break soon. I've never had a siege where I like had to, you know, get a refreshment or something like that. I'm gonna try to hold out, but luckily there is the old pause button, and with a little fancy editing, I don't even know if you'll notice. Yeah, so the enemy, it looks like we have allies on the other side of the enemy. These guys in here are trapped. The enemy's trapped now. We were trapped, now the enemy's the one in the pickle. It's a chaotic fucking battle. They're charging us in shield wall. Fuck you, get out of here. Screen's turning green though, fellas, right? For those who doubted, it's starting to work. And I swear we're gonna figure this out. I've got to get the spacing of the square. It's so finite. It's so what's the word I'm looking for? It's so finicky. You want to have just the right amount of space so that your archers can shoot, the square can hold out, and not many of the enemy can get through. You want enough that can get through so that you're not falling asleep here, and you also want enough so that your archers can work. Because if your infantry's blocking the hole completely in a square, not only will the battle take 2 hours, but you're going to lose. Because in a square, they don't fight very well, right? They prioritize defense. That's why squares last so long. Look at this guy. There's always Chuck Norris, the archer. Look at this. He's blocked 6 shots. Chamber blocking. Fuck you. We're going to string his body up outside the gate after this battle. Die, dog. Yeah, see, I want most of these archers shooting. This square is just not quite in the right spot. I know it seems like I'm obsessing over it, but I'm telling you, fellas, if we can get this just right, this is going to be a slaughterhouse. We might even be able to turn this impossible siege into victory. I mean, this looks good, right? It's fucking smoking the screen full of green. Oh my god, look at that. Do you guys see what's on the wall to my right? It is morning. This siege started at sunset, and here we have the rising of the sun. This siege has been so long and epic. Look at these guys, he's getting absolutely smoked. They have no chance, right? Look at that. There's like 3 stacks of guys that are getting absolutely ripped apart by archers. Every once in a while they get a kill of the guys on the square, but this is a fucking death machine. They're not paying me any attention. It's time to inflict some fucking misery, inflict some pain here. I had a subscriber once call me a fucking hurricane of death. Well, we're gonna earn that reputation in this episode. Of course, with how much I've played Bannerlord, you know, obviously I'm very, very comfortable swinging my axe and moving around with this athleticism, right? It's very difficult to hit me, especially when the enemy's directly in front of me. I'm not getting hit from behind. And I've learned the art of this sort of the repeated swing, right? Where you can swing your weapon in the same direction, the same motion, like in this windmill. It's an artistic almost looking thing where your axe just literally looks like a hurricane just going straight up and down. And I'm not a master of it by any means, but I've gotten really good at it. And this is the perfect situation for it, because I'll be able just to wind my axe up like a blender and just massacre everything in sight. So I think I learned my lesson from the first time. The enemy's leaking around the edges here, so what am I doing? We're charging with that archer corps. It's like 90 guys. They're like very capable on their own. You know, a lot of those are battalion fiends and sergeant crossbow, right? They're going to be doing just fine in melee. And what did it do, right? It shut the fucking... It closed the breach, right? The enemy's sort of leaking around the edges still, but the death spam is quite green. Well, almost as soon as I said that, it turned red. But critically, we're stopping the enemy from getting in here, right? That's number one. This whole strategy can't work if the enemy pours through here. We've already had a couple breaches. We're down to militia in some of our units here. It's getting desperate. We can't make any more mistakes in this battle. Just non-stop enemies fucking pouring through. They're still tier 4 units. Every single one of these fucking guys is like a tier 4 unit. So the enemy is still on very high level troops. I would say we've killed maybe, well, I don't even want to speculate. We've killed a lot, but there's a lot still obviously coming at us. Yeah, just a hurricane of fucking death. You guys just don't pay me any attention to your own fucking detriment. At your own peril, motherfuckers. Yeah, you look the other way there, dipshit. That's smart. Sometimes I feel invisible. I swear I don't have like a cheat code that makes me invisible. Obviously they're infatuated with that square and they're paying for it, right? The archers are absolutely crushing them. Get a little refreshment here as we check out the rest of the battlefield. That same dipshit's over there on the ballista. But so far so good, right? What is this, gonna be a 24-hour battle? Unbelievable. Now look at the death spam. I don't want to say I told you so, but this shit's working, fellas. This has turned into an absolutely fucking death factory for the enemy. They can't puncture the square. They're infatuated by it. Our archers are doing good work here, and anybody that gets around the edges of the square meets my axe. I think this axe is named Odin's Wrath, right? Like it's a custom axe. Anybody out there, please don't ask me how to make it. I am going to compile a list of guys who I know who do crafting, and they've actually sent me recipes for nasty weapons. The problem is I don't have a smith, so I can't really, even if I wanted to, I can't tell you how to build this axe. The original character in this campaign actually built this axe, and he has long died, and I don't even have saved games from him being alive. It was literally 2 years ago game time. I know that seems insane to play a battle out. Look at this hurricane. It's just an absolute hurricane. So it's a motion that I've just kind of learned almost by accident, and I can't consistently repeat it. But you're basically moving back and forth with your axe and timing it at the right time as a swing, and your axe just continues to, in a circular manner, fly over your head, and the enemy gets completely annihilated. So this is not an axe you'll find in the game, right? It's very short. It's like 80 or 83 length or something like that. That means you have to be up close and personal with the enemy, which is obviously more dangerous. Most guys use a long axe, but when you need to kill hundreds of guys like this, look at this. It's just a hurricane. You see the axe just going over and over again, just boom, boom, boom. When you need to kill a lot of guys, this is superior because it kills almost every guy with one shot, and obviously it's swinging faster than any other weapon on the field, or at least almost any other weapon. You can block with it too, right? Like I just fucking blocked that guy, and then of course they're chasing after me, so we'll just bail out of there and let the archers cut them down. Right, we've got a little dance going on here, and I'm learning the dance moves pretty quickly. We've got some athleticism going on. The archers have a beautiful position. The archers probably have figured it out too. Now they're like, oh, now we know when to shoot. Like this is starting to look tenuous. See the enemy's starting to creep around the edges here. This is another situation where it might be time to charge, right? Get these guys up here and basically close the gap, right? The enemy's pouring up here. They're trying to breach, and in come all these now militia. I was going to say infantry, militia and archers and whatnot. They become infantry. And they're suffering losses. You know, I see some red on the screen, but I think this is way better than letting the enemy burst through here. I mean, you've already seen what happens when that happens. God, just let this enemy rout. This would be so incredible to win a siege of 8,000 troops. I mean, it's a video game. Ultimately, it doesn't fucking matter. But it would be a badass accomplishment. It's gotten chaotic again. Fuck. We're just barely holding this. Let's move these guys in a square there. I'm going to tell those guys to shove their way into that hole. Kind of close the door for the moment. Catch our breath here. There's fighting all over the place. It's a fucking total chaotic battle. And then as soon as I think it's safe, we'll get these archers pulled back again. I see a lot of that first infantry is in the gatehouse door. Now we just have to clean up the troops on the edge of the battle here, and I think we can move back. I got to be careful not to take a blade right here, but by repeatedly swinging one-on-one, there's no unit. Look, I can't even move. The archers are clogged in here so much. There's no unit basically in the game, you know, non-noble unit that can swing my big my shield at these guys. There's no unit that can basically hit me with my axe. It's faster than every weapon on the field. So you might like your big axe or your big pole arm or your two-handed sword or something, but I will keep my blazing fast axe. Thank you very much. Yeah, look at this shit. The enemy's just fucking piled up, hundreds deep. And there's not much I can do here. I might be able to pull archers around at some point and try to get an enfilade attack on the enemy. But right now, even though we're suffering some losses with our square, look at this guy. He's coming for the million dinar. Yeah, no bounty for you, dude. You get killed. I would love if I had a few bombs, right? If I could throw some bombs now that the enemy's bottled up and it looks like the archers are holding. I'm basically at this stage, I'm taking a risk. I'm leaving my kids at home. They're using the microwave. Who knows what they're going to do? They're going to put a hot pocket in the microwave for 45 minutes and burn the house down. But I'm looking for more of those exploding bombs somewhere. Because even if I could find 2 or 3, we could put a huge dent in the enemy force with no risk, right? I would just throw it in that mass of troops, and we'd all live happily ever after, right? With exploded enemies. Look at that shit. It's just a fucking enemies just lined up. I don't think I'm gonna find any. There's none over there. Look at these dipshits climbing the ladder, fucking shooting at me. Fuck you. Use my last javelin right in the head. Fucking assholes. They might even come after me. We'll see. All right. Well, there's no exploding bomb. Yeah, they are coming after me. They want revenge. They're like, we heard you said fuck us. They're like a New Yorker. Fuck me? No, fuck you. Fuck you. All right, we're getting back to our friends here. We're being chased by angry archers. Fortunately, I've got this archer support here. These guys chase me. They're going to have a rude fucking awakening. Yeah, you come and get it there, you dipshits. These archers can multitask. They'll shoot your asses too, you fucking dipshits. Look at they're smoked. Hey, you keep blocking. That ain't gonna do you an ounce of good there, dude. Shot in the face. Die, you bastard. Was this a bitch with the flag? I'm not misogynistic too, by the way. I actually, I'm more like a feminist than most men. In fact, I'd probably call myself a feminist. So when I say, you know, this bitch with the flag, we're in spirit here, friends. We're just having, we're having a little vituperation. You guys probably don't know that word. We're doing a little rhetoric here, a little violent rhetoric against our enemies, right? We're gonna be spewing epithets, and God, if I had a bomb, we'd just be killing those guys left and right. We'll be dropping some F-bombs. You know, a lot of times people say swearing is the language of a small mind. Well, I have a huge vocabulary. I generally overwhelm people in like debate and discussion sometimes with words they've never heard before. But it's amazing to say things like, that guy's fucking assiduous with his work, right? To combine like the words of ancient Greece and 200 yesteryear, you know, with swearing. I just think swear words are amazingly irreplaceable for emphasis, and I'm just not going to stop. Not going to stop swearing, fellas. I'm sure there's a very nice Bannerlord channel out there that, you know, they do their streaming on Bible Sunday. All right, let's let these guys in a little bit more. This is risky, but I don't want to put you guys to sleep. Each time I open up this gate, so to speak, it opens up the potential for more enemies to pour through here and kill us, but we're here for glory, we're here for battle, we're not here to put you to sleep. So we're going to take some risks here. It doesn't feel like I'm taking much of a risk. These guys are ignoring me, and I'm just killing everything in sight. I mean, I'm probably getting a third of the kills. It's almost like I'm invisible. This guy finally acknowledged me. I haven't had a weapon swung at me in like 5 minutes, though. Okay, they're starting to breach a little bit. It's not too bad, though. That's a fucking Khans guard. They still have Khans guards? Yeah, let's just fucking wield our axe of death here and see if we can't put a dent in the enemy's numbers here. The screen is very green. Lots and lots of enemy death. You would think they would rout eventually. We have them in just such a bad spot. I don't know if they can get through this. And again, we'll move our square a little closer, and we've got our archers that we can charge anytime I feel really pressured. And we'll just simply bottle this up again. You guys just keep on looking the other way there, friends. You guys are doing yourselves a big disservice. Yeah, that one chick looked at me and then she got shot in the throat. Fuck. All right, well, we retreat. That's the first guy that's attacked me in a while, and he got off a pretty good shot. And of course, this whole keep can just go sideways. If the Jarl gets dropped here, this siege is over. Right? Your troops, at least even if you have the RTS mod, until you get a new character control, your troops will just do something stupid. The AI always does something stupid, and the siege basically will fucking collapse. This defense will collapse. All right, send the archers in here again. Let's have these guys charge. It's the same recipe for success, right? We're going to clog the sides that the enemy's sort of leaking around here. I'm going to get in here and do some more knife work, more axe work. Let's get the first infantry charging too. That way both of these units are playing offense, at least until this gate is closed again. The screen is mostly green. This fucking archer back here trying to attack us. I don't think so. It's getting chaotic. This is so fucking epic. I've got a random music playlist that I mentioned earlier, and it's just playing like perfect songs. It's just like one epic song after another. And of course, a lot of the epic tracks work beautifully. But sometimes the sequence of songs, a little bit of randomness, a little bit of fate is just perfect. Look at, I've got reinforcements on the other side here. Let's blow this hole open so that these reinforcements can join us. Both sides there are attacking the enemy. The enemy's getting sandwiched. It's beautiful. But here come the reinforcements. All right, so our archers that are charging, we got to get these guys back. I don't want archers, especially on the other side, charging the enemy. Let's form our square here. Let's get our archers set up. And again, let's make sure the enemy doesn't burst through here, but our troops, our reinforcements can get into position. You see how beautifully this is working now. We got a death factory going on. And of course, without friendly fire, I can just swing my axe at everybody, and if they're friendly, no harm, no foul. And you guys aren't getting to our archers, not on my watch. The Jarl observes. Just killing everything in sight. I've never had so much fucking axe work in a battle before. One more fucking crushing attack here. You can almost see it was just in time. The enemy's sneaking around the edges here, and they're starting to push through. It's almost like they have momentum. They just push through our troops. Now I can't move. Get the fuck out of my way. It's a fucking mess. God, the enemy's close to breaching. It's like we're holding back an avalanche here. Yeah, they're starting to leak around the right side. Fuck. I just got to fly in reckless. Who cares? We're going to lose this siege right here unless I fly in like a crazy person. To hell with health. To hell with caution. Damn the torpedoes. Full speed ahead. If I survive this scrum, maybe I'll tell you that where that saying comes from. Of course, people overseas, it's an American or in origin. They may not know, they may not be interested to know, but I'll still bring it up. I like to mix in a little bit of history. God, come on, just close this fucking gate. Now I want to tell you all about fucking David Glasgow Farragut. I think that's the fellow's name. Okay, here comes more enemy troops. Get your asses up here, form a wall, close this fucking gate again. All right, squares in place, archers backed up. God, our numbers are reduced. This usually means one thing, that this is all the troops we have left. I'm not going to bring up the status window. I never do that during battles. You guys know that. If you're watching a battle for the first time here on Tactical Enlightenment, we don't bring up the status window in the middle of battles. You're not going to know whether or not we're close to victory or close to defeat or whatever. We want the suspense. I want the suspense. I'm enjoying this probably as much or more than you are, so I don't want to know whether we're going to win for sure. I like that suspense, right? It's a video game. Suspense is fun. One of the reasons the Dark Knight, the second Dark Knight especially, was so good, look at the hurricane in motion, is you didn't know whether or not the Joker was going to win or lose. It really felt like he had the upper hand on Batman, and that was what made the fucking movie so badass. That and Heath Ledger had an absolutely legendary performance. The fucking Joker. I don't even like the Marvel series and all the stupid superhero movies, but those, especially by that amazing director, look at this windmill in action. You guys get a good look at it here. It's just a blur. It's so fast I can't hit the guy. That was an amazing movie. That's the second Batman. I think it's called The Dark Knight. Of course, a lot of the sound that you're hearing, a lot of the music is from The Dark Knight. All right, the enemy's still bottled up there. We've got the death factory continuing here, right? We've got some new factory workers, some new reinforcements, but the guys are in the right spot here to commit some murder. So I'm going to try to tell you this little story of damn the torpedoes full speed ahead, this little 3-minute history interlude while I chop down Battanian forces here. There's kind of a mindless activity here. We've got this death fucking corridor set up. Maybe I'll get killed halfway through my story, but we're going to try this. All right, so Civil War. I think it's the Battle of Mobile Bay. If you don't know the American Civil War very well, it's the Confederates versus the Union forces, the North versus the South. and it's fairly late stage in the war at this point. The war is hardly over, but the North's strategy was something called the Anaconda Plan. They were basically going to take control. Look at this shit. It's just a mass murdering fest. I interrupt myself a lot, but I mean, look at that. Once you master that motion, it's just literally, it's a fucking chainsaw. I take a little break here. So the Anaconda Plan was the North's plan basically to cut the South in two by taking the Mississippi River. The North had all the boats. They wanted control of the river. That was critical to their strategic plan to win the Civil War. So as they went south along the Mississippi, the South really didn't have much of a navy at all. In fact, at the beginning, they had no navy. But the North basically used their navy to cut off the side, cut off the different parts of the South, and then eventually start invading the South. Well, Mobile Bay was a very powerful bay that had multiple forts defending it, multiple warships. By this stage, the Civil War, the Confederates actually had a few ironclads, which were some of the very first metallic boats. They were really goofy looking. They were low to the water, and they were defending the fuck out of Mobile Bay, right? The Confederates fought tenaciously. Of course, they were fighting for their rights and their anyways, we'll stay away from that. They were fighting for a bunch of different reasons, but they were defending this Mobile Bay to the fucking very death, right? They were not going to give it up without an intense fight. And so the North assembled a large fleet to attack. Now, there was multiple very strong forts, and I have to mention this part because then it helps it make sense. A mine back then, something that we would call a mine today, a floating bomb in the water, was actually called a torpedo back then. They called them torpedoes. They were basically floating, explodable things that if your boat hit it, it stood a pretty good chance of blowing up, and you would get killed, right? Your boat would probably sink. It might even kill everybody on the ship. And so the South had a bunch of these mines/torpedoes all over Mobile Bay. They also had forts with all kinds of guns, and they had ironclad ships. So the North, hopefully I didn't get that confusing you too much there. The North assembled a large fleet. Mostly wooden ships, but I think they had a couple ironclads as well. And they decided they were going to storm Mobile Bay by force, right? Get past the forts, charge into the bay, and then seize control of Mobile Bay. So David Glasgow Farragut, I think was his name. He was a flag admiral. That was basically the highest ranking guy of his time, or near the highest ranking. He was in charge. He was in his flagship. It was actually a wooden ship, and he was somewhere near the middle of this line of ships. Well, at the very beginning, one of the Union wooden-hulled ships hit a mine, exploded, and sunk, right? There was a disaster, and understandably, all the other ships behind him hesitated, right? These guys are a little bit nervous. They just saw a bunch of their guys get killed. There could be lots of more mines, right? You're wondering if you're walking into a death trap, and so they hesitated. Well, David Glasgow Farragut heard about this. He's on his flagship, and mind you, he's in his 60s. So you tend to be a little bit more brave when you're older, right, fellas? I mean, at least that's probably human psychology. He heard about it. He pulled his little ship out of the line and towards the front, and he said, full steam ahead. He basically said, we're going for it. When he did that, one of his guys said, well, there could be more mines. There could, and he said, of course, there could be more torpedoes. We've already lost a ship torpedoes. And David Glasgow was supposed to have said, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. And of course, it became this sort of legendary saying of no fear, right? This David Glasgow Farragut, we always like heroic, reckless war sayings. So that's where that comes from. If you hear that shit in Star Wars, I'm pretty sure, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the origin of it. All right, we're charging here. We're changing strategies. The troops there are actually using throwing weapons against us, so I have that 1st Division charging. And by the way, that wraps up this little history lesson. Hopefully that was not irritating to people. Quite a few people express interest in history, and I love talking about little episodes in history like that. Sometimes I get the facts a little bit jumbled up. Admittedly, it's difficult to do that while I'm also commanding troops and trying not to get killed on a battlefield here. All right, we're getting risky here. I'm doing this also not just because it has a tactical advantage. If I can get troops behind the enemy here with archers, with enfilade fire, I don't see any troops coming up yet. Look at these guys. These guys are fish in a barrel. But I'm taking tremendous risk here. If the enemy starts pouring up like that, yeah, it's probably not going to work. Well, we can get our troops back here, I think. I don't want to bore you to death, though. Ultimately, that's what's going on here. Shit. All right, let's get our archers pulled back here. I think there's some spare archers from this other side that are coming at us. Oh, fuck. It's a lot more than a few spare archers. This is a bunch of archers, and there's Battanian Fiends and other elite units. All right, let's spread out here. We got a problem. I mean, we might not have won anyways, but now we've got a major scrum on our hands. There's tons of archers chasing us here. Fuck. Well, thank God this didn't happen right in the middle of my history lesson. All right. Our archers can pull back here. We've got a good defensible position, but we've got to get back to our square. Holy fuck. Every Battanian is now coming our way. It's like the dams burst open here. Holy fuck. We're not going to be able to stay here. We got to go. Oh my God. Look how many are coming. All right. Let's get these archers back up here. They still have control of the gate. I'm going to help them retreat here like any good fucking general. He's going to fucking help his guys. This is highly perilous. It's just asking to get killed. But I feel like I put my guys in a tough spot. We're going to help them get out. The death spam's surprisingly green. The enemy's down to mid-tier troops. Some of these are even low-tier troops. So we might be able to still recover here. We're getting our archers back. These guys can get spread out down here. It's a really weird pathfinding. I might need to pull that infantry towards us, though, because look how many fucking enemies are charging after us here. Motherfucker. They have Battanian Fiend champs. It's supposed to be on our side, motherfucker. Yeah, I see you, fucking asshole. Alright, let's get our first division. We'll bring them over. We add an infantry division to our fucking archer scrum here. And maybe, just maybe, we can pull this out. God, the enemy's thick, though. It looks like a train of enemies coming over the ridge. And now they are paying attention to me, right? Now they're not distracted. Fucking asshole trying to swing your swords at me. Just rip your arm off. I swear that guy changed color right in the middle of being cut in half like a magic trick. We got a problem. Well, I don't want to claim we would have won no matter what, but I think if we just stayed right where we were, we might have won this keep siege. Now we probably have lost. I didn't want to bore you guys, right? This siege has been far and away the longest keep siege I've ever been in. Look at how many enemies are here. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, this division can be in a square. Let's pull the archers back. Maybe, just maybe, if we can get the archers a good line of sight, we can kill these fucks and repel this attack, but I don't see any more reinforcements coming. I think we're all out of troops, and the enemy is just fucking pouring. It looks like a zombie fucking apocalypse. You guys who play like the zombie games, isn't that what it looks like? There's just thousands of fucks pouring at us. Most of them have like strange looking clothing, and they have like black eyes and shit. And they're charging in with just like reckless courage. Their friends are getting their arms ripped off, and they're still charging. It's fucking the Battanian zombie apocalypse here. How many of you fucks do I have to kill? I might have 1,000 kills in this battle. I've never had so many kills in a keep siege defense before. Look at this Battanian Fiend. Yeah, you keep looking the other way there, you jackass. There, you know what they're doing? They're swarming our archers. They're killing our wing of archers here. It's actually good AI. Fuck. Fucking blocking everything, you bowl cut fucking Battanian wood runner. Well, I think this keep siege is lost. I don't think it diminishes, though, how epic this was. Ultimately, it's a game. I think if we just sat there with that square and archers in that formation, we might have been able to win this siege. I think you see the value now of that square with archers on a flank, especially when you have a short, small opening for them to get through like we had. Of course, these guys are blocking everything. And so even though we've lost this siege, at least I think we've lost it, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. This was an incredible fucking slugfest. There was a lot of tactics that we were able to perform here. I want that Battanian Fiend. Fuck you. Now everybody's chasing me. Anyways, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully you've enjoyed the tactics you've seen here. Jesus Christ, throwing every fucking sword at me. And hopefully you enjoyed the epic nature of this. Look at this fucking dipshit on his ballista. you have no idea what's coming your way there, dipshit. Here, I'll leave him to his fate. I'm gonna fucking fight to the death. Yeah, you go ahead and challenge our fucking tower here. This tower is your death, guys. I'm gonna stack you guys up like cordwood on the way to you guys taking me out. Fucking assholes. Well, it's a beautiful sunrise here to lose. Fuck you guys, taking you all out. And the Jarl crit. I'm the last to go. Unreal. Holy fuck, I'm like sore and tired from that siege. If you made it through this stage, my hat's off to you, man. You must absolutely be a fan of Epic Siege. And I've seen, you know, videos on YouTube where it's like Epic Siege, an incredible siege defense, and it's like 900 against 300. And I'm not denigrating those people, you know. I mean, everybody has their own epic sieges. But with all due respect, this is an epic siege, right? This is 8,000 Battanian fucks storming our citadel here. That must have been at least an hour. I'll have to check later on, but that was an incredibly long siege, over an hour. And we took out 7,200. So we weren't that far from winning. I think if we hold that gate and just stay in that archer formation, we might have won. But never mind with what ifs. It was an epic siege. I don't need to prove to you guys that that was a successful siege. We might have lost, but we certainly earned a lot of honor. 1,429 kills. Well, that's the most I've ever seen in Bannerlord. If someone's beat that, especially on normal player damage, my hat's off to you. 7,200. Fuck me. What a fucking epic battle. Look at all these fucks. And we left a trail of bodies. Of course, the Jarl, literally, you can see like the trail of bodies of all the guys that chased after this guy. Zuvan, the Terror. His axe covered in blood laying next to him. Swarmed by this zombie horde of Battanians. Yeah, but we left a lot of their guys and fertilized the soil here with the Battanians, huh? I mean, what a fucking slaughter. That was unreal. All right, friends. I gotta take a deep breath. I need a fucking shower. I need some food. That was amazing. Hopefully you enjoyed that, man. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the battles here on Tactical Enlightenment. We're trying to add tactics to every episode, right? We're not just having these be pure exhibitions, although this definitely felt like an exhibition. But again, please like and subscribe and all that kind of good stuff. I appreciate you guys. You guys have helped build a good community here of very astute guys. And it's been, oh, wow. Okay, this is a new one for me. Yeah. Well, I should mention this part too. This is not, yeah, Zuvan is executed. This is not actually part of our campaign, right? This is part of our 300 series. It's a side branch. So this battle here is almost like Zuvan's nightmare, right? He loses a close keep siege and then he gets executed. But fortunately, this game is not part of our campaign. So for those following along with the extra late game deathmatch campaign against everybody, you can relax a little bit. Zuvan lives on. He's not executed, but that's pretty rad. I've heard about that you can be executed after battles, but I've never seen that before. That just adds another epic wrinkle to the battle. I guess the enemy was like, we have to execute this guy. We cannot ransom him. He just killed 2 legions by himself. We must kill this guy, right? I guess it kind of makes sense. After that battle, 1,429 widows, you know, get a letter of whatever it's called, you know, condolences. They can't say, yeah, we also released the guy. We let them pay gold, and now he's free again. So I guess that makes sense. But nevertheless, thanks again for watching, friends. This was an incredibly epic episode. I appreciate you guys. All that stuff I said before. Please like and subscribe. All that kind of good stuff. Ask questions if you're curious. Please don't ask how to make the axe. I can't tell you. With all that said, friends, I will see you guys next time.